This is the second episode of the Xbox saga. Now, you might have saw this Xbox in a recent episode of mine where I basically unboxed it and had a freak out about it having an Evo X BIOS, and because it is a 1.6 revision, it has to have a mod chip because you can't like T-SOP mod so that you can flash the BIOS onto the onboard like chip. You have to flash the BIOS onto a mod chip and then solder the mod chip and rebuild the LPC port, which is what I wanted to do. And then I found out that like, yeah, it's modded, right? So I actually teared this down earlier, yesterday. There was one screw on the DVD drive here that was just totally obliterated, and I had to drill it out. So that's why this video took that long to make, because I didn't know how to remove that screw, and then I had to, drill it out. But there's so much dust / was so much dust. I have to deep clean this today. I did clean the fan off, that was literally in dirt covered, but there's still a lot of areas that need some care and attention. So today we're gonna give this thing a full TLC and do everything. So this works. I'm just gonna discharge the capacitor's bait now. We need a tool to open it. Torx T20 screwdriver works great. It's literally the screw that's recommended. And then you need a Torx T10 screwdriver also. Here's a bit for it, Cool. Yeah. So we're gonna give this thing a total coolness rebuild, and yeah, it's gonna be on the video. So first thing you do, you flip the guy over, and one of the bolts is actually missing here. I'm gonna zoom in. If you see here, there's one bolt missing. It was missing, by the way, okay? It's not that I lost it or anything. I keep screws in a container. So we're gonna unscrew these 4 bolts. Now that all the screws have been, unscrewed, then we flip the guy over and lift the top case up. Now, this is absolutely dusty, stinky, and just obliterated. I have a little thing here, a little thing that can dust things off a little bit. Now, you have to unfold this ribbon IDE cable and unplug it from the hard drive. Now it's unplugged, and now this is a Torx T10 screw, not a T20. So you have to swap the bit to a T10 and just unscrew it. So if we unroute this hard drive power cable, we can just lift the hard drive tray up and lay it on its side while disconnecting the power. Okay, first let's just unplug the power and IDE from the optical drive. And now, ta-da! Look at that. And if we take that optical drive out, look at that mod right there, mate. Okay, but now that we have our Xbox fully disassembled, we can actually start the process of cleaning it. So first thing we're gonna do is, just to make our job easier, this is not necessary, this is just, to make our job easier, remove this IDE cable, ribbon cable, you remove it from this port right here. You can just set it aside. And if you left the yellow optical drive power cable plugged in, go ahead and unplug it. Unplug the power connector if you want it to start working. So unplug the power supply connector right here. And unplug these rainbow wires, colorful wires, let's call them, and the yellow wires. These go to the rainbow ones go to the controller ports, and the yellow ones go to the power and eject switches. And unplug the fan power cable right here. This is like a 3-pin Molex. Now, several Torx T10 screws hold this down, so we need to unscrew them. So now that all the screws are unscrewed, how? You kind of have to lift this motherboard upwards and to your side, and then lift it up, basically. You kind of unroute these cables right here, and look at that dust. If you have some like sheets of paper, go ahead and set the motherboard on the paper and set it aside. But you have the Xbox case only. You can try to get some of the dust off just by scrubbing with this thing, really. So what I do recommend doing now is taking a flathead screwdriver. Any flathead should work. And there's two pegs on the side of the fan. You want to pry into them. Do stick out, and if you pop them out, the fan should pop out now. Switch to your T10 bit or T10 screwdriver, and you have the power supply here. And now you can kind of grab it by the power connector and lift it up. Look at that dust right here, that's why we did that. You also take the mate on the power supply and dust that off. I'll take a vacuum and kind of get this off real quick. We need to wipe this down. But it doesn't look like it's even possible. It doesn't look like it's doing anything. You know what? I'm gonna take this to the bath room and try to get rid of all this as quick as possible. Welcome to the bathroom. You see that the audio quality is worse? Well, that's because we're recording with the on-camera microphone. You're witnessing how bad the Lumix G7's microphone really is. But anyway, here's the Xbox, right? So we need to deep clean this somehow. Well, I have an idea. I don't know if this will damage the system. Screw it, we're gonna do it anyway. So, we have this spongy looking thing right here. And try to wash all this down. Starting to look better, but look how much dust is going out of that thing. Take some tape and I'm gonna tape over these wires. Everything's taped down. Let's pour some light water over it. I'm gonna have to pour all this out. Yuck! Look at all the filth that's coming out. Well, this is clean to me, so let's get back to the workstation. Well then, welcome back to the workspace. We're here, and that power supply is still here. Well, we're not taking a look at this. Get out of here, but gently, so that I won't break it. Yeah, we're taking a look at this. Wipe that down. Okay, so basically plan B right now. So I've been trying to remove this metal shielding from this Xbox for the past like 30 minutes or so. And this piece of shit is so stubborn that it doesn't want to do it. So plan B. Let's just stuff it in. Okay, what we're gonna do now? Well, we're gonna put the power supply back in there. Fan back in.
Indeed, this is the newer clock cap found in 1.6 revisions. I've heard some people say that even these have started to leak, but it seems far less likely to happen.
Popped in now, the fan is in the place, so... Okay, the power supply is in place, so we'll just take the two screws that are normally in there. Power supply and fan in there. Now, time for the Xbox
And would you look at that?
motherboard, I think. Got that Xbox motherboard now. This is the LPC rebuild. It's in. So let's screw it back in. Okay, it's all done. Now
Let's go ahead and continue.
let's plug the connectors back in. Okay, now let's plug the power back in. Now plug the optical drive power back in.
But since I already bought a replacement, which should be better in every way, I decided to just go ahead with installing that instead. The Game Boy is already disassembled with the screen removed from the last video.
Let's assemble the optical drive, not new, just optical drive. Okay, this is now in. Plug the last thing in, which is the hard drive. Everything's functionally assembled, so we're gonna plug it in. So first, controller, and make sure I haven't screwed anything up with that. Second, and plug the AV in, and hope that I haven't screwed that up. And third, plug in the power, the most dangerous one. And now, 3, 2, 1, pushing the power button. Don't explode! Yes! It works! Oh, but please work, please boot up to the dashboard. Yeah, and does the controller input work? It works, yeah. Okay, let's power it off. Yes, and the fan mechanism works. And let's unplug it actually, before I accidentally electrocute myself. Do one last thing, which is basically put it back together. Well, thank you so much for watching. Big thanks if you made it this far, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.